Oh damn! It started rain again. That's another thing.
It's
It's
always
very
cloudy, right?
unpredictable. Mm.
We are already live?
Are we live?
Yes, we
No,
are.
man. Notification squad. Oh yes, we're live. Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and the other toasters out there, welcome back to our channel, and welcome back to the video. It's not video, is it? No, it's just live.
It's the
I
same.
don't know. Okay, just freeballing it. Anyway, today, today we are going to talk about the graduation crisis. What
Wait,
happens after your
before that, if you guys notice, he must change his gender. He's
Ah,
no longer a guy, he's a girl now.
hello, Hima.
Hi.
Alright, so jokes aside, we have our first guest for the podcast. Hong,
Oh, shit.
how do you feel being the first guest, Hong?
I feel like I feel appreciated. You guys like asking me to join, and I
Uh-huh.
feel like
Of
overwhelming that you
course.
guys like believe in me.
Alright. Don't worry, our total of 0 viewers will appreciate you coming on too, and they will request for you to come back soon as well.
Yes. You are our best guest so far.
Because I'm usually the first one, right?
Alright.
Oh my
That's
god.
true. I mean, factually, it's true. But
I will like
uh,
keep me as a first pet then.
yes, for sure. You know
Oh,
what,
you wanna be the
Tandem,
first bit?
we,
I'll do it right now, eh?
you know,
I'll
let's do some kind of leaderboards as well. Like,
guess ratings.
Hong will be first. Yeah, yeah, guess rating. Hong is first right now. I'm pretty
Alright.
sure.
I shifted our face now. You're at the top. Okay, let me do it. Let me keep you at the top and bring both of us down. You're our special guest today. There we go.
Thank you guys.
Alright, any other request? We make sure we take care of our guests so that you keep coming back.
Yes.
Alright, I will come here often then.
Not just guests, sponsors as well. If you're uh
Yeah, Blue,
you're from some
please sponsor. Please give me something to drink.
I'll
Pringles.
I'll Pringles. Gotta go these.
Do you have anything around home? We do this thing every time where we just bring any brand and we ask them to sponsor us.
Pringles.
Hot water.
Nice. Yes.
Water
The
is
best
very
water.
important. Exactly.
Just support me.
Give us money.
It's my
Give
bowl
me
afternoon.
Pringles, I'll be happy.
You can eat instead of the food.
Wow. I mean, like in each and every one of our podcasts, we're just showing random items and they're getting free shout out to our 0 viewers. Not 0 actually. We're getting a few viewers, so that's not that bad.
Most of it is us though. During the stream, we check our own stream and that counts as a view. And when we end, we see 6 views total.
Okay,
No,
before
today is
we start.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Hong.
I
Go
was
ahead.
like, I just said like today it will be at least 10 then. I will go
Uh,
10 viewer.
all right.
Just set one goal, like
10
small goal
viewers.
each day.
You know what I'm trying to predict is Dima will come by, even live, and he'll try sending some message. I'm just
Hmm.
predicting out there.
All right, let's see. I doubt that because I'm not sure where he was. Because if he could come, we could have just streamed later tonight, right? I think he might be later
That's
than usual. That's why he said we couldn't. Let's see though. If he joins, that would be a fun part.
Absolutely.
It's like watching WWE, my friend.
You never know when someone will come up.
Yeah, the guy who's dead just comes back. Gonna no swearing. I was in shower this morning and I swore that I will not swear.
How
You
is going
did,
so
you
far?
yeah, I'm not swore yet.
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 By the end of this podcast, I said Darshul will swear at least once.
Do you want to do it like our friend? If he's there, like, you give me money. If he not, I gave you money.
What? You guys do that?
Yeah.
No, like, I cannot mention them. Your best friend, Tandin.
My best friend.
boss.
Oh.
Shall we do
whoa,
that?
whoa!
Oh.
I
Do
gotta
you, do you
know.
capture this part and send it to boss?
No. If you bring it up like
Yes!
that, I wouldn't think about it. No.
Said the name.
Wait.
Hong.
So,
No.
so if this other person swears, they give you money, right?
Yeah.
But how do you get the how when do you give him money? If he doesn't swear for the whole day, how does that work?
So I gave him money.
Mm-hmm.
And if he does, he gave me money.
No, if he does, he gives you money. But if he doesn't,
Yeah.
how frequently do you check? Because if I just don't say anything, I'm not saying anything, so you keep giving me money. How does that work?
Let keep it between this podcast. Like
Uh-huh.
if he don't swear any word, then I give him money.
Uh-huh.
But if he swear, he give me money.
Uh-huh. Wait, so you give him money at the end of the day, right? If he doesn't swear for the whole day.
No, only like within this podcast.
Ah, I see.
Mm,
Does make more sense, right?
All right, cool. I should keep some
makes
bucks ready
sense.
then.
Pounds. Pounds will be ready.
Oh,
It's in the escrow already, my friend. No, it's not.
All
I
right.
hope so. But yes. Where were we?
So just to talk about the topics today, we will begin with talking about post-graduation crisis, as all of us have been graduated for a while, and all of us have had our fair share of struggle finding a good job, a decent job even. And then next thing we'll be talking about is just foreigners living in another country and how they need to get accustomed to their culture, their rules, even their tax laws, and a lot of stuff. So
yeah.
let's get started with post-graduation crisis. Oh, another thing
Alright.
we didn't tell you about Hong is on the stream, on this right side, we AI generate some images which we keep updating throughout the stream, which is somehow related to what we are talking about. Keep it more engaging. You don't need to worry about it.
I see.
I manage everything on that. Yeah, just letting you know. So right now there's an image of a guy who looks surprised and has two graduation hats for some reason. I don't know.
Can you send me the link? I will check it out.
Sure, no worries. See,
Alright.
this is how we get subscribers today.
Yeah, I will share it on my story then.
Oh,
Hopefully,
don't.
like someone look at it.
Yeah, sure, you can.
I have a lot of like engagement, though. You know that, right?
Yeah, Hong has a lot of engagement. You remember the day we launched impressions? That day, the
Mhm.
reel that we had, that got about, I don't know, 2K views or something in the first day itself.
Wow.
Was it 2K or was it
That's good.
1.5 kilometer? That was the highest engagement I've got on a post ever. It's
That's
it was
cool.
And then
1.5.
That's very cool.
and
It's
then
keep
there's
it will keep
Hema
going
with
up.
like 10K or something.
You know, Hima is an Instagram influencer. He uploads this.
Really?
Yeah,
He uploads videos of this clouds in the plane and stuff,
Alex.
and he always gets thousands of views on those.
Wow. We should do that often then.
Hashtags work apparently. He adds a lot of hashtags, and he says it really makes a difference between 1,000 view and 5,000 view.
Yeah. I think hashtag help engage a lot. I think. Alright, shall we like start with like when
Yeah.
like did we graduate and something?
Yeah, sure. You can go first. You can talk about your experience you've had after graduating last month, right?
Yeah, last month. Oh, we graduated on May, right?
Yeah, okay,
The funny thing is
two
that like
months ago.
every interview, right? They always ask me like, when did you graduate? When did you graduate? Are you graduated already? Are
Uh-huh.
you still doing your job? Like,
Uh-huh.
it's very funny to me because I feel like I wrote everything on resume. So like we can assume is that like they don't read our resume that much. You know?
It's just a piece of paper for them.
True.
You know, another fun thing was I recently had an interviewer, and during the interview, they were asking, okay, your last company, why did you stop working there? Like it was an internship. I had to stop it because my course ended. And they were like, oh, okay, that's fine. We thought maybe you got kicked out or something. I'm like, what? Why would that be your first line of thought?
People are so funny sometimes, you know that, right?
Especially interview.
Or like we got a bit too far again. Okay, let's come back to like my like post graduation thing, right?
Mhm.
So I actually like graduate on, let's assume it's 12, right?
Mhm.
Since we ended in
Yeah.
internship in that company. So like to be honest though, like I thought my life would be like more predictable because like I literally got job offer right after my internship during summer, and I was chilling. You can ask Handin, like
Yeah.
I'm very chilling. I give zero shit of anything. Never apply for one job because I just assumed I literally sign contract, right? So the thing is that like I will assume that after I graduate, I will join the company directly. However, like
Just to give Darshil and the viewers a little context. So last year, during the summer internship, Hong worked at a company, and when she ended her internship there, a few months later, they reached back to her and they offered her a full-time position. They also had a whole contract. She signed everything, and everything was done. So she was all set to go into that company. And then that is why she was really chill during her second internship, because she didn't really have to do much, because she was sure that she had a full-time job in her first company. Okay, you can go on now.
yeah, and so it's it's very funny is that like I think like before like I'm ended the internship like 2 weeks, the company reaching me and saying that like, oh the headcount is full, so like they cannot like give me a full time position in that like department anymore. And I was like, is that a thing?
Yeah,
Mind you, it's a
Yeah,
company that reached out to her, made her sign the contract, everything is down, and then they say this.
yeah, but yeah, that's all right. I think thing happen for a reason, right?
Uh-huh.
I feel like if this kind of thing happen, I might like it's not the right timing to join the company. Let's put it that way then, because like I think that this thing happen for a reason, right? So after I realized that, right, I just start applying for job, like just not like right away. I just like kind of like think to myself and kind of like swallow everything down, because like that's the thing like you wouldn't expect it to happen, right? But yeah, it's all right. It gave me some back. So the thing is that like after graduation, right, you come back to your home, everything different because like now you graduate, right? Your parent, that's a thing, right? That's a whole different thing. So your parent have a different mindset about you now after you graduated.
You're no longer a child now. You're a
Yeah.
burden to them now.
That's the thing, right? So the thing is that like when I go back home, like my mom was like, "Yeah, it's okay. You come back home. You can live here, right?" But then you will constantly hear something like, "Why don't you apply for a job? Why don't you get a job?
What
You
are your
like
friends doing?
yeah, what you
Your auntie's son already got a job.
yeah, like your friend already got a job. Why don't you get a job?
Mm-hmm.
And your friend already like has someone. Why don't you have someone?
Uh-huh.
I feel like you put on so much weight. It's you know it's
Uh-huh.
kind of like a crazy thing going
Mm-hmm.
on your thing every day. It's like like when you're in your head you have a negative thought, right? But like when you are to yourself, you're like, yeah, I just put it away. But then when you come back to especially Asian family, it's kicked very hard though. Like to be honest, like yeah, that's like the thing is that, like the thing is I was planning to enjoy myself at home first, right? But then
Not gonna
after
happen.
2 weeks, I realized that I apply to like at any job that I feel like I'm a right fit. I apply to every one of it to make sure that I can get out there as far as I can. Not in the let me put it in the way. My mom is a like cool person, but sometimes she can get into your head
Mhm.
like your mom. I'm sure you guys have it.
We all do. And the thing
Yeah.
about this is, it's not even that you can apply any job, and even if you get the job, second question that comes is, what is the salary? My father has
Yeah.
sent me he called me sometimes and he's like, one of my friend's son is in Bangkok, he's getting X amount of salary, which I'm sure is not possible, because that is 10 times the amount that we hear usually. So you can guess how much
Yeah.
higher he's expecting. I'm like, that's not possible for a fresh graduate to get as a salary. And he's like, no, no, my friend's son got it. I'm like, maybe he's working in a really good company in a more expensive country, not in Thailand. He's like, no, it's in Thailand. That's not how it happens. So even if you get a job that you apply it, the next thing they'll be like, okay,
Yeah.
how is the salary? Why is it so low?
Yeah.
and it's not just that, right? Okay, Hong, you must have applied to like multiple companies, hundreds. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Hong had this
And
Notion app in which she listed
Yeah,
all the
let me try.
companies she had.
Let me check it. Let's find out together how much How many jobs did I apply?
I remember last time she showed it to Hema and me. It was so many companies. I was like, from the next time, if I'm looking for a job, I just reach out to Hong. I'm saying, can you just send me the link to your Notion app?
but but the thing is that I only apply to the job that I think I will fit and the company that I think I will fit though. I applied to totally 73 company so far. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, however, like let me continue. There is like a lot of fun part out there. So like the thing is that like because of you apply to a lot of company, right? And you have like a peer pressure from not from your friend, your family, let's say it that way. So so it's like it's the thing that like you're trying to get a job, right? And the funny thing is that like some company like reaching out to me and they say like, uh wow, your resume looks very cool, very good. Like your resume is spot on, like we wanna have you. How much is your salary expectation?
Ah.
This question. It's got me every time.
It's a trap. I'm telling you, this question is a trap from the companies. If you say higher than what they expect to give you, you won't get the job. And if you say lower than what they're willing to give you, they will just take you for that amount because you say that you expect that much.
Yeah. And I know the thing is that like HR they have some like KPI thing that like if they lower the number of the candidate they get like something. I'm not sure. I think it varies from like company to company. Like the thing is that like I found one company really funny. It's very rare process, right? So the first one we will have like a call interview first to make sure like with HR. I think that's a typical thing, right? And the second thing is that they will give you a test, an assessment test that will test your knowledge, right? And you have to do it within 24 hours.
Does it really test your
And
knowledge? It asks
yeah,
questions like, are you confident? What would you do in a group? Those kind of questions.
no. This one is to be honest, it's quite hard.
Okay.
So the thing is that they give me on Friday 4 p.m. and actually I have family trip on Saturday and I have to cancel it. Cancel family trip to work on this assignment. That's quite suck, right? And I think the question tests like SQL, Python, and Excel, which like really fun to do. However, like when I before I working on this assignment, right? I asked the HR, how much will you offer me? It's like the same range as and he agreed. The first one, let's say he agreed with my salary expectation. Okay, then I'm cool. Like if you're okay with it, I'm do the test. Because like if they're not
There's
okay
no
with my
point
range,
wasting the
then
time. Yeah.
there's no point. Yeah, that's the thing. And then I finished it. I submitted, and I actually passed the test. And then it's a interview round with hiring manager, right? And during the hiring manager, the interview went pretty well. And he said like, yeah, we can like start working with you, right? After that, I think a week after interview, I got a call from HR and said like, yeah, you got a job, and like not a week, like 2 or 3 days, and they said like, yeah, you're really like a best candidate, but I will call you again to tell you about the salary and the requirement document. And I was like, why do we discuss about salary again?
We
And now
already
this
did
time
that.
it's a she. It's a she. And I was like, that's so weird. So I was like, okay, it's alright. I think the next day she called me and she said like, I know you discussed with the previous HR, which is a guy, right? And we said like we'll meet your salary range, but I feel but there is a new number. Like I think it's lower than like 10 or 20%. I'm not sure. And yeah, and they tell me like, can I work with that number? And I told them like, I actually like need that because I give them, trust me, I give them the lowest one, the lowest of my range. Because when I negotiate the salary, right, I will give a range, not a number. First thing first, like I want to test the company, and the second thing is that like I can like have some time to myself, right? Because they need that number to like check back to the HR and that kind of thing. So like she get back to me and she said like, yeah, can load down to this specific number, and it was like, that very lower than I expect. And she was like, yeah, she know, and I was like, yeah, I cannot lower it down. So like I think you need to come and like talk to your like hiring manager or something because like I agree to do the test and interview because like you surely can give the number that I want. And then she called back, I think like a week, and she called back and said like she cannot get that number. It has to be that specific number that she gave me. And I was like, I have to think about it because like I have 3 another interview like up to me. And then like and I get him everything. He's like, I think like we should drop the application. And she was like, why? And I said like, you already know the answer. The
Yeah.
story and it's not mesh.
Uh-huh.
And she was like, yeah, that understandable. She's like, yeah, let's keep in touch. Like maybe like you can like work with us in the future. And I was like, yeah, cool. That's like the first
One
thing.
thing I've realized is the HR ever telling you, keep in touch, me basically means get lost. I don't want to see you ever again. Don't message me again.
This is a
That's
fun
the
part.
corporate language.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that like when I'm submit a application, like I don't feel offended when I get rejected because
Mm-hmm.
I do apply for the job of like 3 or 4 experience or like 1 or 2 year experience because like
Yeah.
sometimes I consider my internship as my work experience,
Yeah.
you know. But there's people who like internship doesn't count as a work experience.
Why though? We're doing the same work as full-time people.
I don't know, maybe, but I think maybe like they're used to the internship that like doesn't like make the impact, I guess,
I
you
guess.
know. So like I think like people from like a 2 or 5 years before us, they might not like have a serious internship like us.
Mm-hmm.
I would say so. Like I
Possible.
think like yeah, but they need to learn it now that like it's kind of different. Like especially like some company that like the company that we previously work for, right? They like really like put their effort in our work. So yeah, that's the thing. To be honest though, I want to give you the list that company that ghosted me or company that respond to me. That would be really fun.
You wanna call them out on stream?
And already like I'll get sued for that, right?
You wouldn't get sued for it as long as you're telling the truth, right? The thing is, they can sue you if you're spreading misinformation, right? But if they actually ghosted you, it's not misinformation. It's just you telling your experience with
That's
the
true.
company. Yeah.
Yeah. So my post graduation thesis is that like I spent last month interview hundred like interview all day, interview all day, you know.
And
Which like
I think a lot of people don't realize this. Applying for companies, doing these interviews, keeping track of what is happening with which application, that takes a lot of your mental space, right? You need to devote your whole energy to that, and by the time you're done with it in the day, you don't have energy to do anything else. People think that you're resting and stuff, but no, it's more work than actually
oh,
working.
the like the stress that
Yeah,
it
uh-huh.
come in every time you have interview, right? And the state like waiting for their response and the
Uh-huh.
state of your like your pressure yourself that you have to get a job. You know, like sometimes we need money and sometimes like your family like pushing you or sometimes you just like
Uh-huh.
hard on yourself. It's a,
And
people not talk about that.
yeah, I want to call out companies for one thing. Why do they take so long to reply to emails? You write them an email today. Okay, the first time they reply for the application that it got successful and stuff, that takes time. I get it. They need to go through hundred of emails, right? But after that, once they say that they want to work with you and they're asking you for details, and you send them an email, why do they need another week to reply to that email? You asked me something. I'm giving you that. Reply to me immediately that okay, you got it or you don't need it or something like that. I have
Yeah.
I've been stuck with some companies for over a month and a half at this point. I'm still corresponding with them about some stuff because they still need some documents and they take about 1 to 2 weeks between each email.
That's weird. Mm. Do you think like they have a lot of like job like people
No,
who email them?
so that is the initial filter, right? So I'm saying I've already passed the initial filter, right? All of us
Yeah, yeah.
applied and then they selected a few of us and now they're corresponding with a few of us. So at least a few of us, they should make it quicker. Maybe not the
Yeah, yeah.
same day, but at least 3 working days, I feel like is ample time to reply to an email. Anything higher than 3 days is weird because I'm blocking my other commitments because of this thing, right?
Yeah, that's true. I think
So
like
at the end of
no, you go
what?
ahead. Sorry,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh no, I was like, did you finalize an offer after that?
Yeah, I did just like have a job recently and I will start
Uh-huh.
working like this week, middle of this week. Yeah.
Congrats. Best of luck. Tomorrow, I guess.
Thanks.
Finally, one success
Wow, look
story.
at our guest.
Exactly.
Come to our podcast and get this job.
We take all
No,
responsibility
just
for
kidding.
it.
She worked hard for
Yeah.
this.
But the process though, like it's quite like it's quite I was like it is said last month. It's like I almost has a breakdown though. I'm not like the people who has breakdown. Right? That
Mm-hmm.
one is like hit really hard because like especially like when you talk to a lot of HR, right? They try to like negotiate you like to lower your rank, and sometimes they literally say like I don't have experience, or sometimes they even say like I don't have like a proper thing to show them. But I feel like my resume already proved the point though. Like that's the kind of thing like
I feel like HRs are tough. I agree, but you still have an advantage that you are Thai. So you have a really big advantage over international people, right? When we apply, salaries are not even the first thing we discuss. The first things we discuss is visa. They'll be like, "Do you have a visa?" And then they'll be like, "Do we need to sponsor a visa?" And some companies are not confident about hiring international people because they've never done it and they don't know how to do it. So I was interviewing for one company, and they asked me, "Okay, in your last internship, did the company have to do anything for your visa and stuff? Did they have any problem when they were paying you your salaries and stuff?" I said, no, not really. And then they asked me, "How much was your last company paying you?" I was like, "Why do you need to know that?" And apparently they were asking me that because they wanted to accordingly decide what to pay me. That's weird. The
mhm.
company should have their own set of range, right? They shouldn't be doing this based on what another company is doing.
Yeah. I think that they might like assume that like if they give it lower, then they will just hire it a bit, and then they can like save a lot of cost.
But
Like
you know, the other company can't match the salary we got from the last company.
yeah, the last one is quite high.
All right. How about Darshil? I know you had
Oh,
a lot of trouble too.
well, I'm still going through it, so it's a GG. Well, let me start with my undergraduate itself. Like when I was in Thailand and I was applying for jobs for my summer internship, the thing we have to do. That was real headache. I mean, um, I tried applying, and then my resume was not strong enough. I gotta say that honestly. And I got into a VIA like a day before the university. Like I'm naming names because it was the worst experience I had uh, in the internship. You know what happened? It was like 1 week before Avaya got back, and they're like, uh, "Fine, we'll take you." Me and my buddy, and no, actually, this guy had no internship, and I was like, "Dude, these guys are just taking you in just like that. Come on." And then he was like, "Fine." Then he joined as well, and we just went for it. It was work from home, and they gave out like they told us who I would be working with,
Mhm.
and like they gave me contacts and all that. That just try talking to these guys, bunch of Indian dudes from India. Right. It was okay experience. I mean, that was my first experience as a foreigner actually trying to get a job in Thailand, and it was a tough one for me with no experience at all on my resume. And then after graduation, I was thinking, should I go for a job or should I go for a master's? I said I have an offer from university already. I'm just going to wait this out and try applying for jobs. I applied for a lot of jobs, but the biggest problem was that they were not happy to sponsor visa, and that is something I want.
One question
That
is it like Thai company or international company that you like apply for?
all of them.
Even international company are still have problem like
Yeah.
sponsoring visa.
So here's the thing. For it's like a snowball effect. I mean, you guys started out on the that company, that level company. And if someone sees that name on your resume, on the resume that you're handing out, they're gonna put you on that tier as well. But when me as a person from some lower company or Avaya, which is not that famous, it is an international company, but not that good, I guess. The ratings were quite low and everything. But so I guess maybe that was the reason why I was not cutting it. But
In our
um,
case, I
oh,
always attribute us getting that good company Hong, because of a year before our actual internship, right? Hong was like, let's just apply for intern. Doesn't matter. We don't need to do it right now. Let's just apply for internships. And then she and I we applied to a bunch of companies, and she got in one company. I got in another company. Although those companies were not as good as the company we eventually got, but just having some companies on our resume eventually led to us getting better companies when we actually needed the internship. So like you said, when you applied,
Exactly.
you had no experience, right? That's why you had a tough time getting into companies.
Yes.
But since we already had some experience from our second year and third year, when we actually needed the internship in our third year summer,
The last year.
yeah, but in our fourth year, we actually had good companies on our resume.
I mean, that's the biggest thing that sets you apart from other students.
Mhm.
Here's the life advice to the ladies and gentlemen, and your kids and your toasters, whatever you're getting.
Just do some internship in your summer break from the first year itself
Get
if you
get
can.
yes, get some experience. You have to set yourself apart. That's something I learned after coming out here. I mean, after all this time, I'm learning that you need to do something to set yourself apart from other candidates. There are hundreds of thousands of people just like you, and you need to do something that would set you apart from them just to get that one single push that would get you from your initial resume looking phase to the interview phase. That would move you to the technical phase and then the final HR. But the first step is to reach that interview phase where the HR actually calls you. And that's the big problem here in UK. They won't call you. The recession is bad. They don't want to give visa. That's
That's the
the
thing, right?
borderline. That's really tough here actually. Oh, off topic, but some guy from management technology is in University of Liverpool. I just saw it was crazy. He's from SIT.
Wait,
Is it from our year or like your year?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
our batch?
No, my batch.
Oh. So you just
What
met
a small world,
you
right?
met him 1 year later.
No, I saw his LinkedIn pop up like so it was too off topic. Sorry. Uh,
No, worry. We just
uh anyway, I after graduation, I mean, I have completed all my courses and everything. I started applying last December. I must have applied to more. I lost count, Hong. Like Hong, you don't know about this. I lost count about this. More than 1,000 companies at this point, and I've been ghosted by 90% of them. Pretty sure. And rest were like rejections. And I just got interviews with 5 of them. So that was really tough. At one point, I was telling Tandon that I just picked up my phone and started calling companies if they had jobs. So I
this
called
might
them.
be
I'm
a
like,
very tough time.
it is. I mean, it should not be this tough, but it is tough for me because of the guidelines I have set for myself. The second year is for an internship, and if I don't get internship before July, like a proper placement, then they're just gonna reduce my 2 years course to 1 year, and I have to do dissertation and all that, which I'm not into because the topic is bad. So
Yeah.
it's better to work hard towards job. And
Yeah. It will pay you after for
uh,
sure.
it, let's see, hoping for the best, but it's not been a smooth ride. I've seen some dumb asses. It's not a bad word. It's not a bad word. It's a criticizing word. I've just seen some dumbasses. You know, so I was talking to my friend about this. Your luck plays a huge role in your life.
It does.
It does. It does. I mean, people can say, no, man, I worked hard for this and I deserve it. Yeah, sure you do. But there are some people who would put in zero effort and then just waltz into some fancy job. Just like that. Send in your resume once you got the job. I don't know how they do that. In the class, they're a bunch of dumbasses. For sure. I've seen them. And okay, let's just turn into a rant session. It is fine. It's just a banter. Uh, it has been tough. I mean, I'm still in talks with 2 companies right now. Uh, some of the biggest companies are really nice where they would try. I mean, some. I'm saying like 1% of the big companies out there will be really nice to tell you about your whole progress. They'll tell you how you did it, and they'll give you feedback for it. Like that whole system is really nice. But then there's Kellogg's. Those guys, they call me on the interview day. They're like, first of all, you have to be on-site interview. They hype it up like, oh, you'll get the factory tour. You'll do this, you'll do that, and I'm like, okay, that's fun. I'm excited. I'll go kill logs. Nothing. In the morning time, they call. They're like, can you come 1 hour early? I'm like,
What? That's a red flag.
yeah. I mean, it would be fine if I'm in the same city, but I have to plan to the other city itself. And I'm like, sure. So I did that. I go there, and then I, I I usually try being there as soon as possible. So I was there and I had like 1 hour to spare. I was just sitting in their office and they're like, you know what, let's just start interview right now. 30 minutes in instead of 1 hour interview, they're like, okay, bye. And I'm like, excuse
What?
me? Yeah, that's it.
How many people were there in the
They,
panel?
they just, sorry?
How many people were in the panel?
Two people, one was developer, one was the manager guy. And they asked bunch of corporate questions and they asked me about my experience, like 1 or 2 questions, and that was it. That was the end of the interview. They were like, "We'll send you feedback," but it's been like a month now exactly, and no feedback. So I'm pretty sure I've been ghosted. You know who else ghosted? Ghost companies like Google, Microsoft, and these companies. You know, we agree you are big companies. We agree that you have that many applicants coming in, but then you gotta admit to this that you have this big workforce working under you that is available to sift through all the resumes and try being a bit more thorough. Secondly, Hong was telling about the interview process, how it can be stressful to your brain. Like that is true. It's not just the whole interview process, like when you get the interview, it's even applying for a job. The questions they ask, the essay kind of questions, just to I don't know what kind of analysis they're doing with it. Is it just their HR guy going through it, or is it some sentimental analysis going on that? But
I'm 90% sure nobody reads through whatever you write.
nobody reads through that. I mean, at this point, ChatGPT is just gonna come in and give the same results for everyone. Pretty sure about that. How do you set yourself apart anymore? It's like
I feel like
that's
what
uh,
is like what they try to find is like someone that will work good at their company, right? Like work fit well with their team they clearly have. But the thing is that like as a candidate, we don't know what ideal type of that, right? That's the
Companies
thing.
should make it a point to highlight exactly what they're searching for. Because not every company is the same. Different companies search for different skill sets. If a company before the interview they tell you, okay, we are looking for somebody who'd be somebody who can lead the team, then you know what kind of mindset you need to go in with and you present accordingly. For example, Darsha recently had this presentation where he needed to present about something and they just told him bring anything technical. So Darshil went in, he talked about some technical stuff, and then later they tell him that it wasn't technical enough. So the thing is, you didn't give any guidelines on what the presentation is supposed to be, no samples, nothing. You just say come and give a presentation. And now when we've done that, you're like suddenly, okay, this was didn't meet what we wanted you to do. How do we know what do you want us to do?
here's the thing. I respect that company. I told you, Dassault's amazing
Yeah.
company. I mean, I can name names here because I actually liked the experience that I've been through with that specific company. The HR was kind enough to guide me through all the steps that we took. But Sandin is right on this area where you need to be clear about what they're expecting from you. You know, sure, it's the role was software consultant role. Now, are you expected to develop or are you expected to be more analytical? And as a developer, you're taught to be analytical and development oriented, like both at once. So what I did was, Chandran recommended that we should go with the senior project that I worked on, and it was a good topic to talk about. They literally said, and wait, one more thing. When you're going for interview, you're expecting some kind of technical interview as in coding, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now you're asking me to present. Is it supposed to be coding oriented, or is it supposed to be some kind of
Project.
technical topic? And yeah, just project talking about something, you know. So I was like, you know what? I'll just take my best piece out there, and I'm going to present it. Chandran gave me good tips on this one as well. That you need to show them how you can work in different teams, and it was useful. They like my presentation, but then they're like, at the end, we just want someone who is more coding oriented than analytical person. I'm like,
It's like
hmm,
they're blindfolding everybody. They're saying there's the target somewhere. Go. And now everybody just running somewhere or the other, and somebody lands the target, and they're like, okay, you're in.
it's fine. I would have been kind of stressed if I were to be joining that company because in the interview they said two people are from aeronautical. I mean, two spots are for aeronautical engineering and one spot is for computer science. I mean, I wouldn't have no peer or nothing, so I would be alone
But I
trying
always
to
feel
solve these.
like that is always the better place to be. If you are a little stressed in your job, maybe not a little stressed, if you are a little challenged in your job, you will improve. Like there's
Come
no
out
room for
better.
improvement
Yeah,
if there's just comfort, right?
that's true.
The thing is that like I
And
feel like we have to do it, even though we feel like we unprepared.
Mm-hmm.
We have to do it, even though we feel like we're not good enough. I think like
You have to just
I
do
have to
it.
just do it. Like
Uh-huh.
I think like when I do the first internship that I do, right? I on the second year, and no one in my batch usually do internship. And the funny thing is that like I talk to my mom and I say like I'm just a second year student. Like what can I contribute to them, right? But the thing is that like if you like pass the weird process and that kind of thing, then I think like we better regret joining it than like regret not like applying it from the start, right? I mean like if we all can turn back, we probably like do internship from the first year, right?
Yep.
But the
that's
thing
true.
is that like there's no one to tell us that, especially like when we also hit the COVID too, right?
You know, I had a junior this year from Bhutan in IIT. After her first semester, not even first year, after her first semester, I told her just get some internship. And she's interning at two companies right now.
Which is very cool, right?
Yeah. I'm like, by the time she reaches her fourth year or third year, whenever she needs her actual internship, she'll have so much in her resume that she can apply literally any company in Thailand and she get it.
Yeah. The
That's
thing
nice,
is that
man.
like we I feel like in our life we need to really have a good mentor.
A good
You know,
mentor
like
or a good company. Like, for example, Hong and my case, we didn't have a good mentor per se, but we used to just encourage each other. Like, literally, Hong and I used to do it. Hong can bring up anything and be like, you want to join? I'll always say yes. I can come up with anything and I'll say, you want to join? She will say yes. The podcast happened like, I'm
yeah,
like, you want to join? She's like, yes, she's here.
yeah. The thing is that like when you have someone who like always supporting you, then that's the thing, right? Sometimes like we really need that person in our life, because like the thing is that like I wouldn't join my I didn't like do internship in this company even not like because of like you know what I mean, right? I joined it because of like tending there. That's the thing. I really like you know me, right? I have like a list of company that wanted me to join, but then I was like, yeah, I will do this company because like it's like the last semester and I want to do it with my friend.
The interview process was really funny.
Uh,
So day X, I get the interview call and they're like, you will do the interview now. And 2 days after that, all of my friends they get the call too, and all of us ended up in the same company.
that is sweet, man. That is fun.
Yeah. And the thing is that like you know me, right? I forced my friend to do internship like I did to Tandin. Like you can ask Tandin, I the one who forcing him to
Yeah.
do internship even though we don't have to do it.
In my third year, I did my internship only because she was like, just apply, let's apply, let's apply. And that actually helped me. Like, you don't know how many interviews where I've gone where I've talked about the internship I did in my third year. Because I have nothing other to refer it. That's the only thing that people can relate to and be like, okay, you did work there? What did you work, and how was the work there? Not the best company, but I appreciate the impact it has
The
had on
opportunity.
my resume. So,
That's the thing though.
mhm.
I feel like even though we might regret that we didn't do something right, but now we all we got is
Yeah,
that this person moment. Like all we do is just like just keep trying. Like
it's
we
always
all know
better
that.
to fail trying than to not try.
Yeah.
That's true. That is
I,
that. Those are the wise words, man.
the thing
We
is that
we
like
could write a book.
like a book together, like how to. The thing is that I feel like sometimes like we feel like the decision we made is right or wrong. You know when you right, we feel like we made the wrong decision. Like why not do that, or like did we like why did we not do that? But the thing is that like all we can think of it's not gonna like improve us in any way. At the end of the day, like we just have to like hit out like make ourselves ready and just kick apart again.
Hmm.
And the thing is that like, even though like you're not like your current job or something, right? But the thing is that like it will be putting in your resume for another job.
No matter what you're doing right now, it's always for something better in the future. There's always
Yeah.
something bigger, something better at the end of the tunnel, right? So,
And I hope we all figured out though.
mhm. For my case, it was a little different because both of you were pretty sure about wanting to jobs, right? You guys both worrying about jobs. For my case, a year before I graduated, I think last year, August already, I started looking for universities to apply for my masters. Darshil knows this, even Hongs knows this. I wrote like hundreds of applications. I sent you guys to proofread it. I used Hong's Grammarly to edit my grammar a lot of times. I must have sent Darshil and another friend of mine at least 5, 6 drafts of my final personal statement that they helped edit, and we rewrote it again from scratch and all that stuff. And still, I didn't get a good university offering me a decent scholarship, which I could just take up for my master's. I don't know, like some people, like Darshil said, some people get it really easily. They just apply for it and they get stuff without doing
When you
anything.
say that, you know what? I told you a story, right? That dude
Uh
got
huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
such a huge scholarship, just like that, just like that.
So I do believe that luck
Right.
plays a role and stuff, but then I also believe that that happens to 1 out of 100 people, not to everybody. So to
Not to
just
everyone.
yeah, just to leave everything on luck would be wrong as well. So what you need to do is you need to understand that okay, luck does play a role in this, and some people might get lucky, but there are higher chances of you being the unlucky person than the lucky person. So on your behalf, you need to keep trying. You can't be complacent and be like, okay, if I get lucky, I'll get it. Otherwise, I won't get it. You need to keep trying hard so that when luck finally does favor you, you have put in the work so that you can take advantage of the luck. I've seen
Yes, sir.
many people who've done this, like not in the education field, but have you seen some YouTubers who just blow up overnight? People see that they're blown up, right? But that's not because of the one video that got luckier. It's because of the 100 videos they did before that. And now when people see the blown up video, they're like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And they see the other videos and they find all of them interesting. That's how the people blow up. So that's the main reason we do this podcast and stuff to it. We know that this video is not going to blow up. Maybe next 100 videos are not going to blow up, but someday something. If either one of us win a Nobel Prize or something, people will go back to watch this podcast to see like, oh, let's see what they used to do as kids.
Yeah, it's a matter of like hard work and luck, right?
Then
That's why I
after,
go to temple today.
yeah,
Uh,
that is also an interesting topic. We can discuss about it. I feel like a lot of us here are religious. Hong is religious. I know religious in a sense, not really religious, but she does
That's pray a lot.
pray for stuff. I think I am the same kind of religious as Hong, where I wouldn't go out of my way to do some kind of sermons or something. But if something good happens, I might just thank God for doing this. If something bad happens, I might be wishing God for things to get better. That kind of religious,
Yeah.
and it
I feel
does
like
help.
sometimes we not be like we're not like a really like religious person, but having like something to believe or some guideline is help you not going crazy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we cannot find a reason like why they don't respond, or why like why I doing this and why that it's not like turned out as we expect, right? But when you have something to like telling you like, yeah, it's God plan. Like sometimes it's like sometimes you suffer this to like realize what you have, or you suffer it to like gain something like actually like way better than this. Then that's the thing, right?
We do have this, like,
I agree.
we as humans, we try to find a reason for everything. If something goes wrong, we'll keep thinking about, okay, this went wrong, this went wrong. But instead of thinking of it that way, if you admit that there is a greater God or something which is looking over everything, then you have less things to blame yourself for. You can, I don't know if this is the correct way to say it, but you can kind of blame God and be like, okay, it's their fault too, not just my fault. So it's easy on you.
Yeah.
I think this is the video that blows up, my friend. And
Discussing God.
thank you, home, for coming.
Yeah, you're a fun guest to have on. I was
It
worried
was
that
fun.
since it's the first time you're on camera and all this stuff, you might be awkward talking. Because the first few podcasts that we had was we were a little awkward. We didn't talk as openly as we do now. It's a little
The
self-conscious, right?
natural.
You see your own face when you're talking. You know it's being recorded. You're scared to say some stuff.
I think I have to thank like a lot of interview I have recently then.
That is nice, being optimistic about everything. Yes. You know what? If things goes well, we'll push you to regulars, the regular guests.
You can be in the podcast every week. Then
Biba
That would
who?
be
he was getting replaced. Then after my whole master's thing happened, luckily I did get a full-time scholarship from my current university, Thammasat. So I got my master's there. Now the second thing I had to worry about was filling up the 2 months gap that I have in the middle between my bachelor's ending and my master's starting. So one thing I was sure about was if I just do my master's in Thailand, it wouldn't be worth my time, and I could pay and go to another country and do masters there and get a better degree, and have better people around me which will help me go further in my career. But what I thought was if I can somehow manage to balance my a masters along with a part-time job of some sort, then that would be more beneficial to me in the long run. That is why I confirmed my master's position, and now starts the race for me to look for a job in Thailand. As I told you, I've been in talks with the company for a month and a half. I have a company which asked me, okay, which days I'll be free. I told them which days I'll be free, and then they haven't gotten back to me after 2 weeks. I have at least five HRs on LinkedIn I'm talking to, and one of them even
Wow.
told me the date when I can start, and then when I said I'm gonna do it on site, I mean online, they've stopped replying to me. I've got friends of friends of friends, all the connection thing going on. I've written emails to them. They also asked me for my resume and they haven't gotten back to me yet. I've had, I think this summer alone, I had not as many as Hong did, but I had 3 interviews, which were out of which 2 were technical interviews and one was a weird interview where I just talked to the people there. I don't know. I think this thing happened where the last interview that I had, I was so done doing interviews that I was just being brutally honest. They were asking like, what do you see yourself doing in 3 years? I said I'm not sure, but I just want a job just now to fill up my 2 months. I clearly said this to the company. And
oh no, you shouldn't say that.
no, I was so done with interviews at that point, trust me.
Yeah, yeah.
And here I am now. I've already spent 1 month of my vacation and I just got a month left, after which I'll be busy with my masters. So hopefully I do get some clarity before that begins, so that I can actually do something productive.
I have a question. I have a question
Mhm.
for all of us actually. Should you be brutally honest when you're doing interviews? I mean, is it we know about some people who would just bullshit their way in into the company, right? And then they would be spending their rest of the time in the company as miserable as possible because they have no clue what's going on. They
Mhm.
have no idea about the tech they're using, and they're just there existing. Their supervisor like yelling on them or something like that. So should you just be brutally honest where you would be like, yes, I don't know this technology, but I'm ready to work towards it and get it. I mean, when you're genuinely interested in going that way, or should you just be like, oh yes, I know, and then next day you just join, and then they're like, you know what, just start developing this goddamn application and make it for us in like a day or two. What's your take on that?
I feel like being completely honest might sound like the best approach, but it's not. Because if you are completely honest, there are a lot of things which a company might request from you which you don't want to do, or which you are not comfortable doing. And you have to also keep this in mind that the other 10 people are not going to be honest, they are going to lie. The company would rather pick them over you. So you need to trust in your own skill set a little, and white lies, right? You're not lying. It's not like you don't know how to spell apple and you say that you won some prize in some spelling bee or something. You need to be honest enough where you can make sure that you can learn the things that you're claiming to know. For example,
Mm,
when I had my first interview, I knew enough web development, not a lot of it, but I knew the basics of it, and I knew some JavaScript. And they asked me, do I know React? I said yes. I didn't know it. I said yes. I got into the job. I learned it, and over a period of 2 weeks, I got familiar with it, and I could do most of the work that they were giving me. So I guess like you need to weigh in that and lie. It's not exactly lying, right? You need to mm, keep away the truth according. I don't know. It is kind of lying, but
just be corporate,
mm-hmm.
just beat around the bush
Mm.
without giving the actual answer.
As long as you don't lie about something which affects the company, I feel like it's fine.
Because
Mm.
I've heard from this one guy who I was talking to. He was telling me about his experience. He said he knew C++. We know in the class that he does not know C++. Like he was taking assignments from other people already, and he does not know how to run the code either. But here's the thing. When the company asked, do you know C++? He said yes. And then they asked him to explain the projects he worked with C++ on. And he's like, blank,
Yeah.
not like.
So this is what I was saying. You need to lie based on your skill set. So if you, the thing is, if you know even a little bit about the basics of what you're lying about, you can talk about stuff when they ask you questions.
Mhm.
Mm. True.
But if you go in
For
and
me,
just lie that you know Japanese and they ask you something in Japanese, of course you're gonna get caught.
the
Seen them videos.
the thing is that like for me like this is quite weird, but I feel like interview is like dating. It's like you need to like learn from them too. You know, it's like it's not if you put into person that you think to yourself that they will judge you, right? Then they will judge you. But then you come in with this mindset is that like it's not of them like picking me or them like judging me. It's like we judging each other because like
That's a
it's
really
like
interesting concept, like thinking of interviews as dates.
no,
It
it's
has,
like
it is.
it's like the thing is that you go to first date, right?
Mhm.
Like for like most company apply like they will have three interview, right?
Mhm.
Like the first one is HR. You see how like how the HR work. The HR work
Mhm.
literally tell a lot of the company, right?
Mhm.
If they unorganized or like they not like talk like clearly or something that you know like this has a problem, right? But if they tell if they tell you directly, like I really got talk to this company and they say like we have this problem. We do really need someone to fix on that. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. Then I feel like yeah they're honest with me, and then I'm being honest with them. You know, the thing is that like I don't feel like we're lying or something, but we have to speak in the way is that like
Yeah.
sometimes we don't know it, but we are willing to learn and we are willing to contribute to the company, because like if you're gonna interview to the company, right, you have to have a mindset is that like if you are that company, if you are the CEO, what the person you are looking to like to have,
Mhm.
or like if you already know you're a hiring manager, right, you can like ask yourself like if I were them, what will I expect from the candidate,
Mhm.
because sometimes we spend a lot of time like worrying about our skill, right? But sometimes like if they are a good mentor, like to be a good boss, right? They will not have that mindset. They will have the mindset that you come in and learn. The thing is that like the mindset that helped me a lot is during interview is that like I have to be like active learner.
That
When I
is
say
true.
I don't know it. The thing is like I'm not gonna say like I'm not. I'll say like I'm not comfortable with it, but I'm willing to learn.
Yeah.
Like I remember like the first time I got my first internship, the manager asked me like, do you know SQL? The thing is that like by that time we didn't learn SQL yet, right? I told them like I'm not familiar with it, but I'm willing to learn, and I can learn start it right now, and I will be ready before the internship start. The thing is that like I think it's not about lying or about thing. It's about like you have to make sure that you are the right candidate for them, right? The right people, the right job. You know what I mean, right? It's like it kind of weird, but the thing is that like the more confident you are, like if you're not like look desperately wanting a job, if you play your game well, I think I hated this thing, but sometimes you have to play game during interview. But it's like you have to learn from them, and you need to make sure that you ask them questions that like make them feel like you're really interested in them. It's
So,
kind of like that.
Hong's tips for this are: pretend you're on a date, don't act desperate, be confident, and be willing to learn. There you go. You get a job.
But the thing is, that's the
It
thing,
it
right?
is
You know
true.
me.
Yeah.
And
You
you
know
have a
me. I
girlfriend or
always
a boyfriend that way as well.
you know me, Tandin. I always got the job. You get
Uh-huh.
interview.
Yeah. Things I never thought of it this way. Like thinking of interviews as dates. It's a really interesting concept. Like the more that I think about it, it does make sense. You're meeting somebody,
Makes
you're
sense.
you're
Yeah,
seeing how they're seeing how you're, because technically even the interviewer is interviewing, right? They're interviewing for their
Yeah.
company. Right now we are just junior level developers, so they don't have to pursue us as much. But as we become senior level people, the interviewers will be actually we will be interviewing them, right? Because we need to know why we should join this company. Right now the company wants to know why they should hire us, but in the future we'll be asking them why should we join you. So it is like a date where both of you are evaluating
Yeah.
each other and seeing if it's a good match.
I have a lot of interview with like this the like hiring people, right? Especially on the third round or fourth round, and I feel like a lot of them are not like asking about you a lot. They always talking about like what they can bring to us,
Yeah.
and they will be curious about what we bring into the table.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I feel like if we can pass this first two round, right, we got something special that like
Yeah.
is in this round, right? This round is just the last round to make sure that you are the right fit for this role or this position. That's the thing, right? And the thing is that like sometimes it's like if you feel like you have to prepare a lot or do something a lot, then I feel like if you put a state into your body and you will act way different. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
But if you come with like that, come in with like you have a mindset that like okay, like I know enough, or if I'm not know enough, I will willing to learn. But we have to speak it that way to make sure that they understand the same way. That's the thing, right?
Another thing that you said earlier, which I do really totally agree on, is the company doesn't really care about if you know something, as long as you can show them that you are willing. You worry so much about technical details like their tech stack and all that stuff, but a company knows, right? Like if a person knows how to at least do the basics of coding, they can learn anything over time, and that's on the company. They need to train you to work according to what they want you to do. So
Yeah.
you just need
that's
to
true.
be open to whatever the company has.
Just like read it steady, like
Mm.
detailedly, and try to like figure it out like what that type person they
Mhm.
wanted
Yep.
you to be. The thing is that like I feel like they are familiar with that concept, right? They
Mhm.
work on it every day. They have like the curiosity or the thought that the problem that they want are to solve, right? However, like we're not in the company yet. We cannot like solve it by our interview. But if we have a mindset, is like if they can see our like mindset that we are willing to like dig deep down or we willing to like contribute it, I think like they will like accepting us or something like that. But the hardest thing is that like you have to to say it that you have that mindset, right? Because like I know for sure like Tanya said like when you are interviewing a lot you have some like you're sick of the interview, you don't want to do it anymore, right?
Yeah. You
That's
reach
the
to a
thing, right?
point where you're like, just I'll just say what I want to say. You take me if you want to. You leave me if you don't want to.
the thing is that like I feel like yeah, we even if you come into that like point, right? I think you need to like break yourself,
Yeah.
not do interview anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because like it's I feel like because like if we on a date, right, we have to respect each other.
Mm-hmm.
If we're not prepared, then we're gonna waste their time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, and then we will have a good like impression on us. On the other hand, if like you say like you're not ready for it, like can we move it? If you cannot, then like
Yeah.
we can stop this process, just to be like to make sure that we not like wasted someone time. That I know that kind of like me thinking, but yeah, I do because like tomorrow I will cancel 3 interview.
Wow, look at you.
Casually dropping 3 interviews.
Yeah, I probably have to call them in the morning and say like I will drop them.
But as people who've been both inside and outside the company, we know, right? Like if we cancel interviews, the person who's supposed to interview us is the happiest person because they get an extra
Yeah,
hour for themselves.
that, yeah. I feel like like I feel like sometimes we have to come unprepared, right? But if we know that like if we come unprepared, nothing gonna do better, then I think we should stop it. I think like we have to know our like the limit and the thing. Is that yeah. But that's the hardest part, right? We don't know like which company gonna do it that way or that way.
That's the thing. Different
But
companies
God
You
will
have
know,
send
different.
us the right company.
you, you know what's the epitome of unprepared? I have an answer for that. I mean, as you guys know, I applied to many companies. At one point, when I was getting calls, I would be like, they asked me this question on why do you want to join our company? I'm like, what does your company do, and what is this role that you're talking about? I have no idea. Plain,
Yeah.
and
I,
then
I
I'll
had
tell
the
you.
experience before. The thing that like when I got the call, right, I pull up the notion and like,
Which one is
you
it?
from this company, right? Yeah. I wanted to join your company because like you are great representative on something. I literally have a note on the right side, like what the company do and what position I'm applied to. I think that the thing that I would recommend people to do is that track something a bit because like when you got a call, right, then you can bullshit thing up.
Especially when you're applying to like tons of companies together, it's really easy to get confused.
Yeah.
I mean, on top of that, if you're applying to the company for same role, like two different roles, you're done for.
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
There were like two, three instances, and some companies have similar kind of names as well, and you just get confused. You're like, "Oh right, I applied." They're like, "When did you apply?" I'm like, last week."
Why don't you
Okay,
see it
fine,
like in the
bye.
application form?
You know, I have this theory which I do want to test. What do you think will happen if you cold call a company which never emailed you, and then you be like, okay, I got your email and you told me to call you about this job and this position. When is my interview? What do you think will happen if you do that?
They'll just be like, "Send us the email, we'll check it."
Okay, let's say not an email. Let's say I got a call from you. What do you do?
Oh, that no, that's nice. That's nice.
I got a call telling me to uh get inquiry
Okay.
about the interview details today.
At this point, you're certain, right, that interviews are going on.
Mhm. The thing is,
Okay.
you need to have a friend who's got an interview, and then you take advantage of
Uh-huh.
that friend, get the number from him. Do you really think the HR has things managed out so that they can keep track of who they're contacting and stuff? I don't think they do. That is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking since they don't keep
No,
track of
so
everything, you might be able to get through it.
you know about my BMW story, right?
Uh huh.
I called them in Germany. I was like, I was really desperate for this internship. I'm like, BMW is coming right to me. I have to just take this, and I can't let it go. So I called the HR, and HR's like, "What is your name?" And then he says that he got list of my name. He's like, "We cannot pick you right now because you cannot join right away." I'm like, "I would love to, man, but I can't."
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
As long as you don't have the Icelandic name, it's not you, my friend. I'm like, okay, it's not me.
Oh my
What?
god. It's,
So shout out to the Icelandic guy who got the job. Congrats, bro. It was fine. Yeah, I have cold calls a lot. I just hope I get it, man. Next week is my hard limit. I'm going to call. I'm in talks with two companies. I'm going to bug the hell out of them just to make sure I either get a yes or no because I cannot keep on
yeah.
going on without any answer.
Wish
It's
you all
been a
the
long time.
best, though.
Thank you.
Like, I feel like they have to see your potential. You really got a thing, man.
I am trying to be persistent, especially with the companies where I try reaching back to them after interviews. I try staying in touch. I ask them what tech they're using and how I can improve myself on that. I try staying active with them, but then it's just like it has not worked out so far. Uh, but I hope for the best. Like Tandem said, the answer is going to be no unless you take the shot. I
Mm.
mean, that's when you have the option of getting a yes as well.
It's like you miss
So
100% the shots you don't take it.
Yeah.
yes,
Damn,
well,
we got quotes all around in this podcast. With that, let's move on to our next topic, which is just discussing about how foreigners have get used to a different country. For us, I
Yeah.
think the most common thing all of us have experienced is foreigners in Thailand. Even though Hong is a Thai person in Thailand, I think I've
Yeah.
granted enough to Hong so she knows what foreigner needs to go through in Thailand.
A lot thing, right?
Hmm. It starts off with the language. Like luckily, after I started applying to international companies, that has been less. Before, when I did not have anything on my resume and I applied to any company possible, they used to always be like, "Do you know Thai?" And the second I say I don't know Thai, I'm out of the.
Okay,
uh,
right.
Because in Thailand, many companies they prefer having meetings and discussions and even documents in Thai. Okay, Hong, as a Thai person, is it more easier to type in Thai? Like, why do people make documents in Thai? I never get that.
You mean like the governance stuff, right?
Not just the government stuff, even like companies. I've seen some companies just have documents in Thai.
To be honest though, I'm not really sure. Like to me, like you know me, I prefer like English because I can type faster, right?
Yeah,
But the thing is that like I feel that I don't know. Is it not? I'm not certain about this, but the thing is that I feel like a lot of upper generation, the one that born before us, is still not like comfortable enough with English. Let's say like some certain people or some group of people, and sometimes you can see right like they stay in the company or that department for a long time, and you know like you cannot like just make one shifting like you can document everything in English, no. But yeah, for like another Thai company or department that like we experience, like for example our like previous company or like especially like international department or something, they all document in English. I feel like even though like it made for certain specific foreigner, right? But if the people who like in charge of the department not comfortable in English, then they won't do it.
because I understand conducting meetings in Thai because I see how that could be more comfortable for people. But the documenting part I never understood. But I guess like you said, it does make sense. If the people who are at
A
the
lot of people
higher
understand
level
Thai more.
position, yeah, if they're more comfortable with English, they wouldn't. The juniors don't have the power to just do it in English, even if they want to. It, they have to stick
Yeah.
with what the seniors ask them.
The thing is that like I wouldn't like join that company from the start because like
It
I feel
limits
like
your growth, right?
it will my growth because like if I'm put into myself to that position, I'm still stuck to Thai, right? But then like if I put my position into like somewhere like more international, then I need to push myself to understand people and also learning from them, right? That's the thing.
In today's day and age, you can't just be stuck with where you're working. Right? You need to prepare yourself for a global scale, especially with all of this AI coming and all of our jobs are in question, to be honest. So you need to prepare
Yeah.
yourself for what's in the global market, right? And with that, if you get stuck in a company where they're forcing you to communicate in Thai, make decisions in Thai and stuff, you're just taking yourself further away from the competition.
Yeah. The thing is that I mostly English. To be fair, let be totally honest. Like, you gonna make 100% to use of it. You need to understand English.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. And the thing is that, like, I feel like even though like even though we have Thai as a language, right? But if you want to move, like, represent your country as like more international, you have to be more like more understandable of like foreigner stuff. Especially like when Ten complained me about visa and everything, right? I feel like we have all resources, we have all the money that's supposed to improve people's life, right? Even though, like, I feel like we should treat people the same. And you remember I told you, right? Thai people also like get the shitty treatment too. Oh, I swear. Sorry. So the thing is that, like, I feel like we have the money and we need to like make sure that people are included in it, and we understand the user, not just making the way that the worker like easier. It's not a mindset that we will serve the people. It's like they're serving themselves. That's the thing. But yeah, I feel you, because like Tandin been like telling me a lot of like the visa problem.
It is. Okay.
Visas are also weird, right? They've got education visa, work visa. You can't work on your education visa. This thing, you have that thing. You can't make more than this amount with your study visa. But I still feel like Thailand is still a little chill because they don't uh follow the rules as strictly as some other countries. For example, in the UK, you can't work for more than 20 hours.
More than 20 hours. I know some people who are working more than 20 hours. Shout out to them. I
Good,
hope you
good,
get
good for
caught
them.
because I don't like you. No, just kidding. Just kidding. No one's working. Check my records, Mr. Police, and you'll find everything.
It's the
Uh,
police.
but yeah, the rules are like you cannot work more than 20 hours, and all your income needs to go through government as well, where they see how much you're making. And you can work longer in your off time when you're not in your term time, and that's when you can make a lot of money actually legally. And
Mhm.
god damn it, reminds me of my time. Yeah, yeah, we don't talk about that. Uh, shit. I swore. It's okay. Wait,
It cancels out.
before we go,
It cancels out. Both of you saw once.
is the S word swear word?
Uh, if you're being strict
Depend
about
on
it,
people.
yeah, I guess.
I mean, I use bullshit as well. So is it?
Uh,
It's
bu- Bullshit is fine, right?
yeah. So I just said shit, but bull was silent.
Yeah.
Loopholes. Join me. Um, but I came out here and I was trying to push myself out of my comfort zone. I mean, I grew up in Thailand and I was out of my comfort zone, but I was still in the comfort zone because it felt like home. And the place I was living at was full of Indians, and my high school was Indians, even though it was the international school, it was just the Indian dudes. And when I graduated, I came to university, and that's when I had to push myself to go talk to everyone. So I was the only Indian guy at that time. I remember in the first year itself. It was nice of the friends I made since the start, our group mates,
Mhm.
and that was the initial step I took where I actually started making friends uh, with people. Like I started knowing others. I started waving to them, and then they did not wave back to my friend.
That's a long story.
Then he got sus.
I'll tell Hong about it after this podcast because I have to name that person to tell this story.
We
Really?
cannot name that person. We would be dead. I don't want to be
Can't
dead.
wait for the
Uh,
hear the story then.
Yeah, but I feel like
actually, she should. Yeah. Uh
yeah.
huh. Go ahead.
I
No,
was
no, go
saying
ahead.
in university we made friends from a lot of different countries, right? This really helped us
Mm,
diversify not just the cultures, also what is
the
normal for
mindset.
yeah,
Well,
just the mindset in
yeah.
general. We had friends from Cambodia. Oh, I shouldn't go on a rant and name all the countries now. You know, we
Don't do
do
that. Don't do
Go
that.
on.
we
We
do
got
this
Sri
thing.
Lanka. We got India.
We end up leaking important information about a lot of people in our group during this podcast. We almost leaked Kevin's address once.
Because we were having
But
fun,
Diva
right?
has leaked his own address, so that's funny.
He even leaked his own address, my address.
Your ass there
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
one guy who knows his address.
Yeah, so on my own channel where I do like gaming content and stuff, once I was playing games with Hema and stuff, right? Somebody came on the chat and they were like, I know Tandin's address. And then Hema goes and says, oh Tandin, this guy says he knows you stay at XYZ. I'm like, you just confirmed it to him now.
So funny.
Wow. And then I came out here, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I was hoping for super good exposure because now I'm literally moving out of the continent just to pursue something, and I was planning to like learn a lot. I come out here and it's all Indians, dude. Everywhere Indians. I mean, I walk on the streets, it's Indians. I go to the church and it's Indians. I'm like, hey man, what you doing here? He's like, I'm chilling.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Oh no, no, I'm chilling, bro.
No,
I
don't do the accent.
I'm chilling in here.
Even
Uh,
in the Thai companies that we worked at, especially the international companies, a lot of Indians.
a lot of Indians, dude. Indians everywhere. Trust me. Uh, there's this one dormitory full of Indians, like literally full of Indians. Buildings are full of Indians, and they're it's like the Indian dormitory at this point because they celebrate all the festivals and everything there. I did not send you this, right? So there was this one dormitory that was playing Holi.
Mm-hmm.
For Holi is like Songkran, I think.
Uh-uh.
And so the landlady came into play as well. And these two bunch of dudes, morons, man. They took color and put her in, captioned it, getting the green card.
The Hong in Indian culture, usually when you get married, you put the red sindoor here, which signifies that you're married and stuff. So
Uh,
so they did that in Holi, and they're like green card.
really?
That's a joke,
I
of
have a
course, but
video of
still, it's
that.
funny.
And it's so funny. It was not just one guy, it was two guys just doing that, running away.
I feel like a lot of people in Europe, like especially US and UK and these countries,
Uh-huh.
since a lot of their own culture has died a little and it didn't carry over as much, they are really craving for any kind of cultural traditions, and they want to do this and they don't want to make it weird too weird. So when they're playing Holy and if somebody does that, they're scared to be like, okay, don't do it, because they don't know what might offend people, so they're like, okay, go ahead, do whatever you want to.
Oh, it's 2023. Everything offends everyone.
True, true. We need to be careful a lot.
Asia is,
Mm.
I think, still better than that. I think in Asia you can get away with a lot of stuff without getting cancelled.
Asia is still very, very conserved. Um, like, I mean, each and every country have their own taboo stuff going on by themselves. But when you compare it to, let's say, UK, Liverpool, they're open about everything, and it's just crazy. I mean, I would not expect all this back in Thailand. But then Thailand has its own stuff that goes around uh, within the culture and that we cannot see here. So that's totally different. It's nice though. It's nice for me because I've experienced both of them, and I would still lean towards the Asian culture compared to the UK culture, which is non-existent.
It's
No,
like the
like
food
honestly,
without taste.
yeah. These guys agree. All they're going and eating is fish and chips. I'm like, what's so funny about fish and chips, man? They're frying it. Never mind. I should not be complaining much. It's expensive. That's it.
Oh, I forgot to ask you. So this new company that you're working, where is its office?
Near my place.
Ah, that's cool.
Ah, that's
Yeah, that's
right.
all. Yeah, the thing I like this company is near my place too.
So,
And
how did you get a contract?
sign the contract, right?
Is it like a 1 year contract that keeps on extending, or is it like a 10 year that just keeps on going on?
It just keep on going, I think. There is like no
Oh,
specific contract
that's
on that.
nice.
I think it's like the thing is that like first you know me, right? I always work for like a lot of like a big company lately, and the thing is that like I feel like I people a lot of people doubting me though, to be honest. Like did I really
What?
like should make the right decision or something, right? Because like it's not like the company that like when you say the name and people know it like the the previous like one, right? And the thing is that like I feel like I for the first round I like the HR like they being like very honest to me, right? And the second round, like the one I interviewed with, like she was like very nice and like I really like can talk to her like shit. Like literally it's just like she like she literally said like yeah like she asked me about like the interview process or something like I told her that like I'm literally in like 2 or 3 company at that moment, right? And they're like willing to offer me like blah blah blah. The thing is that like and like she was like giving me advice, you know. And the thing that I remember she says like you don't have to shoot my company if like the thing is that like you just you just like learn it from me today, right? And you can shoot if you do or you don't, but just keep to yourself is that like just don't do the thing that you will not like. The thing is that I like the interview that you told me it's like a dating, right? When like when you can tell that they are very supportive, you and they will let you learn something or they will give you like yeah, the thing is like when you believe when you feel that they believe it in you, that's like that's the point, right? The point that you feel
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, you might be in the right path.
Mm-hmm. You feel comfortable, right? Sometimes when the
Yeah.
conversation is going on.
And like on the last hour, right? The guy was like really nice and smart, and the thing like I really impressed on the company is that like I give a lot of company the rent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they always try to hit the lowest one.
Mm-hmm. They didn't do
This
that.
company hit the highest one. Even though like the HR told me that they only have a budget for the lowest one, which I don't mind, right? Because like it's in the rent, right? But then the guy that HR called me and say like, yeah, like it's very like high for like a fresh grad like you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very surprised that he giving you that. So
That's
I feel
nice.
like yeah, I feel like he value me in some way. You know what I mean, right? It's I don't know to be honest though. I still doubting to myself like is it like the right or wrong decision? But at this moment, I feel it right.
Mm-hmm. And that's all that
Even though
matters, right?
like
Nobody can
yeah
predict what's going to happen 3 4 months down the line. All you can do is
yeah.
think about what's happening right now, right? So if this is the best option for you right now, you take this. And
The thing is that like
yeah,
yeah
go on.
you want to say you go on
I
first.
was just saying, eventually, if you think that this is not the right decision and something else comes up, you can always shift again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
you were
thing,
saying
right?
something.
I was saying that like, the 3 interview that I will have like this week, right? It's like all big company, like
Mm-hmm.
the previous one. But yeah, I feel like I need to cancel it because like I don't want to doubt it anymore. If it come in the right time, then right time. Talking about God, the thing is that like I I go to what is this what is him calling in English? Is this guy
It's Ganesh. Ganesh.
Ganesh, right? I pray I went to the one at Hoi Huang, right?
Uh huh.
And I pray that I gave him condition like I want
You gave God condition.
I want to be in the international company. I want to be in the company that like surrounded by like people who can be a good mentor. And I say that blah blah blah, right? And I say like I want this number. I'm not giving him any rent. I say like it had to be more than this.
Uh-huh.
And then like like I praise in like the first month, right? And
Yeah.
all the company that I've been talking, they always hit the lowest one, which which by far it's not gonna be the number that I give to the
Yeah, yeah.
to him, right? And at the end of the day, like when I on 28th, the company called me and said like, yeah, we will
We'll
give
give
you
you
that
that
number.
number.
And I was like, is this a company that can actually give me?
God, is this
If
you?
so, like if we do that, I have to take it, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But yeah, extending to the quote that Anand said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You're gonna miss if you don't see anything. That's the extension, right? I mean, you have a vision that there's this number that you want to hit, and that's what you're aiming for. Out of 100 shots, at least 10 are going to go near them, and the one is going to just hit
Hit
that.
that one.
So sure.
And think
I mean,
about
that's nice.
friends and family saying that this might not be the best option. The thing is, only you are the person who knows the position you're in right now. Nobody else knows the position you're in right now better than you do. If you feel like this is the right decision, it most probably is the right decision.
Yeah.
Just yourself.
We will see.
You need to trust the
There has
process.
there is a probation period, right? I need to pass that, and we will see
I'm sure
next
you won't
few
have
months.
a problem with the probation period. Come on.
You
You're
know me, I will give.
Yeah, you're one of the few people who I know, like if you go to a company, you won't have issue connecting to them and making sure that they understand the potential that you have. Because I feel like that is a big issue that people these days have, especially in the tech field, where either you're not knowledgeable, or if you're not knowledgeable, even if you're knowledgeable, you don't know how to express it to people so that they do value you. You, I feel like you've both. You're both knowledgeable as well as you're able to convey this message to the employers. That's how they do eventually value your input to the company.
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like if you have a good mentor, then
Yeah,
they will know it,
it,
right?
it, it makes a difference about that.
I feel like our boss or our mentor is like a huge part of our like a career path. I should say that because like some I feel like good manager won't let you stick if it's not a right fit for you.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you see like people managers supporting people to leave the company because like they have more potential than they can grow in here. I really
That
wish
is
for like a
true.
good like manager or good mentor.
By the way, I forgot about it. I was asking you where your company was because you had that your dorm in Bangkok, right? So
Contact, right?
what
Yeah.
are you doing now?
So now I'm working. I'm in the room right now, so I'm moving back already. And
So how about
after
your
spending 2 months,
how about your contract?
the the room contact, right?
Uh huh.
It will be in on 11 on November. But the thing is that like if like to work here or work for a long time, and my friend also have the same mind, then we probably like stand it for a long time
But you
because it's the cheapest one here around here.
but you said that your house, no, your new work is near your old house, right? Or is it near this house?
This one.
Oh, then it's fine. I thought it's near your
Yes.
other house, and that is
Oh,
why I was asking you.
it's just 2 station away, which is
Oh,
very good.
that's good.
How hot is it in Thailand?
It is really hot.
Very hot.
I'm dying right now. It is 28 right now, but I'm sure it's more than 20.
Luckily, it's like just raining this afternoon, so it's kind of like shower the rain a bit. The hottest. What about England? Is it like hot in there?
He's wearing a hoodie. Can't you see that?
No, wearing a hoodie.
Maybe this is cool in his room. Come on.
Oh, Hong, I didn't tell you about this. So my electricity bill last month, guess how much?
Hmm. 2,200. How much?
3,000. Just
What?
just the electricity.
Why is this high?
I don't know, just for 1 month. That is why.
He's mining for Bitcoin.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
doing
He
anything.
has to carry mine something, right?
I'm not even in my house most of the days. I'm outside. That is why
Did you ask them to check?
I did. They're coming here on the 4th to check the AC as well as the heater. I feel like it's the AC. It's an old AC, so maybe it's
It's the
a higher
meter.
bill.
Yeah, maybe some
Uh,
problem with the meter
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know.
should be the meter.
because like the meter have like their like years like working
But
and like
it's not
it's
just me.
past that.
Even other people in the building, I asked them. They said even they got a higher bill. Apparently, apparently the place I live, they increased the electricity unit cost without informing us.
No, no. One question is that like, is it the unit from the government or the unit from the Gulfville itself?
I thought I almost said it and I cut myself short, but it's fine. So I used to
They have
think
a lot of branches.
I used to think it's from the government, but I think it's not from the government. It's from their own thing.
Yeah, the thing is that the unit might be different because like sometimes the unit is like the thing is that in Thailand we have the new rule which is not good. So basically the electric price will depend on how much you're using. So like the first 100 unit will be like 4 baht or something.
It'll
But
get
if
more
like it
expensive.
exceeds it,
Yeah, yeah.
then it will exceed it a lot, right? And the thing is that like maybe they're changing their policy like for you to like all department or all room have to pay like 9 baht
Yeah,
something.
the
I'm not sure.
highest rate that they will be charged at.
Yeah. Even though like they're not using the
Mm-hmm.
exceed that limit though.
I see. Mm-hmm. Possible. To see how that is how we leak information on this podcast. It just happens naturally after an hour and a
Yeah,
half.
it's just like we talk, right? It's just we've been like talking.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
Yeah,
It's
but
relaxing until your
Yeah.
information's out there.
Well, this was another reason we started doing this podcast, right? So what we thought was we get along and we talk 2-3 times a week anyway, right? So why don't we just do that on the podcast? We can talk about
hmm,
important stuff, jobs, life updates, things going on in the tech world, anything that can be interesting for us to talk.
yeah, that's cool though. I feel like it's just like a good opportunity to practice like your
Mm-hmm.
speaking and
Exactly.
the way of learning
Just
because
an
like you
excuse to
wouldn't
stay in
feel like
touch.
comfortable. Oh, sorry.
No, no, sorry. It's just like an excuse to stay in touch with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing though. Like sometimes you lost touch with a lot of friends, even though like we have internet nowadays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I even though myself I feel like I am still close enough to reply them on story,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm close enough to asking them a question,
Mm-hmm.
because like sometimes it's just like being like long gone.
The thing with you is I know you're a really busy person. I know if I open your line any given day, you'll have hundreds of messages. So sometimes I message you and you don't reply. I know you didn't reply because you probably saw the message, you forgot to reply, and it's just staying there. I know that. So whenever I have to, I just message you, and I know you'll see it if it's important.
The thing is that it's always like that, like
Mm-hmm.
like when he asks a question, I feel like he not urgently needs to answer. Then sometimes I just like okay, I will answer it. But
uh,
but like when you need me, I will be there, right?
yeah, yeah.
And then there's Hema. I Hong, you don't know, but when you open Hima's any application, you're gonna see thousands of notifications. Thousands.
He
He
likes it
ghosted
that
But
way.
then
everyone, right?
he still gets back to you like ASAP. That's how. He's another tier. Really nice.
Yeah, but I'm glad that you guys like having like a fun project together.
This is
This
useful in many ways, right? It makes you feel less guilty about spending time talking with your friends. Even though you're just talking, it feels like okay, it's not just talking, you're doing something productive as well.
It's a good memory though, like
Yeah,
imagine like a year or
it,
two you look into it.
it is all being documented, right? In the future, when we're like 56
Yeah,
years old, we'll watch this on a loop. We'll be, oh shit.
digital footprint.
And the best thing is we don't need to worry about the storage. Google pays for it.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you see that thing where people were using YouTube as a storage drive? They would
Yeah,
convert their
That was interesting.
files into a video and store those videos on YouTube.
on
That way they
YouTube.
get free storage.
The- Yeah, and there is no limit, right? That's
Yeah.
the thing.
But then YouTube got smart and they started compressing the videos people upload. So this way, if people uploaded files, they would lose data.
Yeah. Like you heard a problem with the Twitter lately, right?
Hmm.
The that Elon Musk like
Yeah, they're reducing
limit.
the APIs. Yeah.
Yeah, they call it view limit, right?
Hmm.
But there is a fun fact that is I found it very funny because like Twitter will have the contact of Twitter with Google Cloud will end on 30 June, right? And they were saying that like Elon Musk and team cannot like move the cloud or data file snap, right?
Hmm.
So they just exceed limit. So then the server is not crashed.
I see. I see. The funny
That's
part,
like it's so weird.
the funny part is Reddit did something very similar a few weeks ago, and they are facing massive backlash from the community where so many subreddits have gone off the thing. They have posted that they don't want to post anymore and stuff. You know the thing about Reddit, right? So Reddit did this thing where initially they used to allow unlimited APIs to people, and people used third-party apps to manage their subreddits. But now Reddit has started charging some cost for using their API, and that is why the subreddits which used to use third-party apps, they can't use them anymore. So many people went against that. They say this is the worst thing, and people are getting off Reddit because of that. A few weeks later, Twitter does something very similar. I'm like, why aren't you not learning from the other companies?
It's always like that, you know.
Even Twitch did something dumb recently. They made it so that, for example, this is the podcast right now, right? I can put whatever I want to put here. I can put a banner here advertising something and stuff. Twitch made it so that you are not allowed to put anything in the frame for more than 10% of the screen or something. Everybody backlashed on it, and then yeah, everybody backlashed, and the next day they were like, "Oh, we're sorry, we take that back." It's like all the companies are doing their best to make as much money as they can from the people at this point.
God damn it. It's all corporate now.
Just wait until
Adult
ChatGPT starts
life.
making money. Don't you think OpenAI could make millions by just having an entry fee for ChatGPT, even the 3.5 version, which is for free right now?
I feel like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're making some kind of money out of that already. Pretty sure about that.
How though?
Because
They don't show ads. They don't do.
I I, I think it's using. I, I'm not sure, dude.
I think the browser
Could
version, which
great
we can access, I don't think they make any money out of it. They make the money out of the paid version, which people buy
API.
to use GPT-4 or APIs.
Hmm. It's just thinking.
But I just realized that OpenAI don't have only ChatGPT. They have another like
Yeah,
model too,
they,
and
they,
it generates a lot of money.
They've got Dolly and
they
all that.
they have
So
Dolly, they have Whisper, they have ChatGPT.
Their outfit is very cool though. I watch it on like YouTube. Is it?
I saw something where the CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman, he said that he
Mm-hmm.
has 0% shares in the company. So no matter how good the company does, he doesn't get any money out of it. He's doing it
But
clearly out of his
because he like it,
interest. Yeah, he's not doing it for the money.
but he will get a big bonus for sure.
Of course, I'm sure his salary is high. He made this thing. It revolutionized internet. Everybody was talking about crypto for over 2 years, and ChatGPT comes and it destroys the whole crypto thing. Now nobody discusses
Yeah,
crypto anymore. Crypto, NFT, everything is dead now.
I feel like crypto like it sounds cool, but you don't see an example in real life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Compared to the
Yep.
OpenAI and that kind of thing. Even Google jump into it,
Yeah.
Brad. And the thing is that like they said that it will change the way of SEO working, because like now it will generate the response based on the prompt that people put, right?
Yep.
Not just like the frequent reward.
Uh,
That really cool concept.
ooh, actually, Tandan, Hima will like this a lot. the statement I'm about to say, but your SEO is working.
What?
I tried. Yeah, yeah. I tried Googling my name, and your stuff came up.
What? How did it come up on your name?
Came up. I could see the impression images and all that. So
Wait,
I'm like, okay,
you looked up Darshil and impressions came up? I still don't get it.
yeah, 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 it did. I was going to send you a screenshot as well, but let me look it up.
But
Ah,
how?
see here. So I go Darshil and look.
What? How?
Do you see that? It's impression stuff,
It's
and
a
it's
LinkedIn thing.
Oh,
So
you
like when
you
you
yeah,
you,
yeah.
you
yeah,
shared
when
it,
you
right?
yeah
Ah, I see,
share
I see.
or
I've
react
not
on it.
shared it. No, I've not shared it.
But how is it coming up? I'm confused actually.
No,
I mean,
it's a
I've
thing
just
about LinkedIn.
I've given you a follow. I have interacted with you, but that's pretty much it. Still, it's going up. It's nice for you, actually.
It is. But I'm actually surprised. Like, how is it coming up?
Oh crap! Look at my alter ego. His name is Arshil Vagadia. God damn it! I'm going to dox him. Chat, go and spam this guy. I don't know him, but he's got similar kind of name, and I don't like that. So let's bully him into changing his name. Shout out Arshil.
We're changing really fast, huh?
Mhm. The world is changing fast. And I feel like at this point, jobs are no longer secure.
They're
Oh,
not. No.
We have to be the one who use it, not the one who getting used by it.
do you know one of our friends got a job, huh? I just saw LinkedIn right.
Pardon?
No, no. I just
Uh,
opened LinkedIn right now, and one of our friends uploaded that they got a job.
Ah, your friend.
The title sounds really cool.
What
what
is
is
it?
the title?
Executive secretary.
Whoa.
Oh,
You know, I went to their company and I checked who the company follows. Hema follows that company too.
Hema is
Hima.
everywhere.
Hema is everywhere, truly. How long has it been? It's almost been 1 hour 47 minutes. If
Which is quite long.
yeah, if we don't have anything else to discuss, we can start wrapping up now.
Start
Yeah.
wrapping up.
So
Wait,
how Mhm.
Dungeon, this guy, Ryan Trahan, is back at
the
the one penny
one
thing.
penny challenge? I saw something here. I never really followed him that
It's
well,
fun.
so not that interested. But I've seen some of his work.
This time he's in Paris.
Hmm.
I mean,
What?
he's starting at Paris.
There's a,
It-
a
that-
YouTuber
okay,
called
so
Ryan Trahan.
yeah.
He did this
Uh-huh.
penny challenge where he had 1 penny and he traveled across America with one penny. He kept trading it with people. So how he does this is like this: he'll have a penny, right? He'll go to people and
Mm-hmm.
he'll ask, "What will you trade me for this penny?" So somebody might give him a pen, and that pen is maybe $2. So he got $2 out of the 1 penny. Then he goes with that pen, he changes it again. The $2 become $5, $10, $100, $200. This way he kept increasing it, and he went
What is lower?
uh the thing is, it's a YouTube channel, right? Like they somehow make it interesting. So if
Yeah.
I go to a random person and I say, what would you give me for a penny, they would just chase me away, right? But when there's when there's a camera on you, even the person giving you feels a certain sense of, okay, I need to give him something nice.
Yeah.
So then he went across America this way, and the main purpose for doing this was he was doing it for charity. I feel like the whole time people are donating to him, and he met Mr. Beast at the end of it, and then he donated like 100 million or something child welfare, or I'm not exactly sure where he donated or how much he donated, but he donated a big amount for that thing. I think he's doing something similar again.
Yeah,
YouTube.
last time was for food. This time it's for water. 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 Like some water. I have a bottle of water.
Oh, wow.
Bottle of water. Bottle of water.
How was your experience? Ah, my camera. This happens at least once every stream. I'm out of focus and I need to do it.
Do you want my camera? I'm not using it. The Logitech one.
Mine is the Logitech one too. It's the Logitech C920, right?
I'm the one that say like 180 on the camera.
Yeah, it's the same one. It's the same one. I don't know. It's the
You know,
dumbest thing. It goes out of focus if I'm out of the frame.
on previous streams, Tantan has said this already. Never buy Logitech cameras. So
Yeah,
we're
uh,
not getting them as sponsors.
the quality is
Good
decent.
experience so far though.
No, the quality is fine. That's not the issue. The focus thing is an issue. Just fix it. I don't know. It happens to me at least once every stream.
I see.
So I was saying, like, how was your experience joining podcast? Had fun?
It's very fun. Yeah.
Fun.
It's been a while since I talked to your guy, right? And I
Mhm.
never like turn on camera when I talking to your guy anymore. Normally we just join Discord and chill
Yeah.
out, right? And it's well fun that like I feel like we are like when we have a topic to talk to, right? We kind of like try to. It's like a deep talk when you have with your friend, right?
Mm-mm.
You get to know like one person more of how like the way they think and the way they react to something, which is quite cool.
So, are you saying we can expect you again on this podcast sometime in the future?
If you and you know I always say yes to you, right?
All right. So, and next time I'll make Hong do the podcast.
Have you tell Dasha about our story like when we first met?
Oh,
Does he know that?
do you know about that?
No, go
Uh,
ahead.
so you, I think you know, right, Darsha? Like all of my friends are basically your friends. All of my friends are my seniors, and the only friend that I had from my own batch was Hong in my first semester. And how we met was very funny. So we were in this Python lab, and you know how in the Python lab they make the seats for specific groups for that. And I went in.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Did I go in first or were you in first?
You were in first.
Okay, I was just sitting.
I have to choose between you and Tom.
So time was so it was me, you. Then was it time? I don't know how the seating
No,
was.
so remember like there is like a 5 seat on the right side and the
Uh-huh.
3 seat on the right side, right? And there is 2 people on each side, which is like you on the first corner and Tom on another corner, right?
Ah.
And then like when you walk through it in, right, you have there is no fixed position, but you in the group, right? So you have to choose whether like where to sit and when you sit on that for the first time, right, it's basically be your permanent seat for the whole semester. That's the thing. And it's very funny because like when I look into Tom and you, right, I feel like yeah, Tom would be like a cool friend, right? But I feel like I can get along with him easily. But then like for you on that hand, I feel like yeah, if I'm not like sitting there like you know like some people in our batch are not that cool, right? And I feel like if
Darshan has experience with those people too.
no, I feel like if you
Hey! No beef, man. No beef.
You're a Hindu, of course, no beef.
You know this, right, Hong?
Yeah.
no, what
No,
happened?
you know,
No, what?
I told you,
Come on.
I told you. Remember about the? I can't go into the details, but I told you something about.
Okay,
Come on, it
okay.
was Amy. Yeah.
You spit the name.
Alright.
You're not cool. Come on. I'm still salty about it. But you know what? On record, I forgive you. Don't be a snitch.
Yeah, oh, I remember it now. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So like
Yeah.
there is some
Not so
uncool people,
cool.
right? Yeah. The thing is that like I don't want I would assume like I can tell right away you're a foreigner, right? And I have the experience as an exchange student. So I feel like I don't want you to meet the uncool person. So I just like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit there to you. And then like I said it to him.
Yeah.
And
That was the first year, first semester, and then we've been together for the whole 4 years. Same
4
classes,
years.
same courses, same group, same subjects, even the
Everything
same
like
That
internship.
is amazing.
everything we choose together.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do it like without like other like comment.
You know, the funniest part was initially, I decided that I'll go for exchange. I told Hong. Hong was like, okay, let's go exchange. Even she decided to go exchange. We applied to the same
University.
University of Waterloo in Canada, and then they rejected
Yeah.
us. And then both of us at the same time said, let's not go. Let's just stay here. And then we chose the exchange extended track.
I think it's a similar case with me and Thankwa, right?
Mhm.
When I first came in here, I was like, I had no idea I was just sitting alone. And then this one just, you know how she bounced around,
Yeah.
always jumping, jumping, jumping. And then we were talking and she tells me that she studied in India and all that. So I'm like, but I'm not studying in India. I mean, I
You
look
study in
Indian.
Thailand.
I look like them. I'm not them. No, but she's cool. We stuck around until now. It's just like so we're growing up, so different stuff. But yeah, it's cool. It's really nice that you guys are still in touch, and we guys are still in touch. Like
Mhm.
after all these years. So
I feel
Eh,
like it's really
so
hard. Like
now
I was.
I need to tell you how I met Darshil, guys. So it's the funniest thing how I met them too. So the first day I come to Thailand, right? We have
Mhm.
a bunch of Bhutanese seniors here, and Hema was their roommate. So I met Hema from there, right? And I wanted to join music club because I enjoy playing a little music here and there. So
Mhm.
Hema told me that they're doing this club selection stuff. I can come there, so I go there, and then I go to the music club section, and I couldn't join because they want people who actually know how to play stuff and not people who want to learn things, which is the weirdest thing. Why do you call it a club if you want people who already know the shit? Then after that, this is something that I came to know later. Hema had promised Ink that he will bring somebody to the club. I did not know I was the goat out here. So Hima was like,
Uh huh.
okay, okay, I have a good, really cool club. Do you want to join? Even I'm a part of that club and stuff. Then I was like, okay, sure. Then Hima took me to India and he made me join Innovation Club. And Hima not a single day came to the club. He just put me in the club because he had to bring someone there. And it was there that I met Darshil and Ink and everybody. And then I used to that time I used to have my Thai classes as well, so I couldn't
Uh huh.
join the club for the full time, but I would join for the last 30 minutes or stuff where everything would already be done, but Ink would just quickly make me do something small. And I remember Darshil was playing this Dhum Machale sound on that Arduino Uno, and that's how we got into talking. And one day Darshil just invites me into this line line group with I don't know how
yeah,
18
that
people or
was the
something. Yeah, yeah. And then
studious students or
and
something.
then I just stuck with them. And then I just hung around with those guys, and I didn't make a single friend from my own batch apart from Hong for I think 3 years. It was after you guys went, and in my fourth year that I made more friends in my own batch.
There was some banter going on in the group chat, right? And then your name popped up, Tandem.
Mhm.
And me and Ink were talking about this. We were like, Tandem's really cool. And then that time we knew the other people as well who were in the group, and they were like, you know what? Call him.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, yeah, I'll call him. I'll call him. So we put you in, and then it kind of got out of hand because I kind of lost control. And then the other people were joined as well. I mean, and then the group started breaking up, and
You know,
we created.
a group is too big when you have a subgroup with half the people from the original group.
Mhm.
Yeah, damn. It's fine though. I mean, I'm still happy with whoever's stuck around
Yeah,
so far.
I always feel like you can only have a handful of friends who stick around for a
That's
long
true.
time, and how much ever you have is enough after a certain point. Even if you have a lot of friends, it's hard to keep in touch with
Keep track of
everybody.
them.
Yeah.
The older we get, the smaller our circle gets.
Hmm.
Unless you're Hima, that does not.
I would meet
I
people.
remember this, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I've been to different places around the campus, right? Everywhere you go, someone knows him
exactly.
somehow. Even the restaurant owner knows Hima.
Hmm.
He's gonna be like,
You know, right?
Hima's back.
Chune's friend from Global Series, she knew Hema. She was like, "Oh yeah, the curly-haired guy." And I was like, "How does the people from other faculty know Hema?"
He's everywhere, dude.
He's very outgoing, huh?
He is.
My friends knows Hema from here, from the podcast. He's the guy who's making stuff. That's how they know them. But I tell them the stories of Hema, and they're like really fun guy. I would be friends with him for sure. So yeah,
Right. On that note, hopefully Hema uh watches this and misses not being a part of this podcast, and he
Yeah.
joins again next week. Uh, and we just crossed the 2 hour mark. So yeah, it was a good length podcast. I didn't expect to cross the 2 hour mark actually.
Yeah. That's so
Right.
fun, guys.
Yep. Thank you so much for joining, Ho. Oh,
Welcome.
this was you were one of our not one of our you are our first guest. We are looking forward to inviting different kinds of guests because I feel like it just adds to the dynamic and to the talk to it. If you have more people,
Yeah.
you have more interesting things to talk about. For example, the topics that we talked today, that post graduation crisis and the stuff we had discussed before too, but you brought a whole new perspective to the same topic that we did
that's
discuss.
true. That's
That was interesting to.
Yeah. We always learn something new every day, right? Yeah.
All
From
right,
different
yeah,
person.
and everyone have their own experiences, so that's totally different cases.
so I'll quote Hima before I leave. Okay, guys, let's bounce.